Welcome everybody to round 5 of the Australian NASCAR eSeries X-Series here tonight at Chicagoland. We've got about 5 minutes worth of practice left, and so we'll have a look at the running order and we'll introduce co-commentary tonight. That is Mr. Nigel Cedar. Welcome, Nigel. Welcome to the booth. How are you doing?
Not too bad, Bryce. Welcome to everyone that's listening in on Twitch, Facebook and YouTube. Good evening to everyone.
It's going to be a good night here at Chicagoland, a very high-speed track, a very fun race track as well. I enjoy it. It's one of my favourite tracks on the service. I'm a bit gutted I'm not out there racing tonight. But alas, I'm up here to provide a broadcast for everyone so they can all give it a watch back later on. But a couple of new faces to the field. A few big names as well. Shane Van Gisbergen, the current Xfinity playoff leader in the States, has decided to come race with us tonight. So it's going to be great having him here. We've also got Brad Newman joining us tonight. Jaden Russell, he's a new face. He's new to the series this year. I think there's a couple of others. Riley Curtis.
Matt Bailey's another one. I think it's his first start in the Xfinity.
Matt Bailey, yep, he started in the trucks last week. First Xfinity Series start here tonight. We also have Tom Frears in Energy Sim Racing. He's out there in the number 707, very nice purple car there. I think Brenton Hobson, he's a new face to the series as well. Either started on one of the weeks we weren't broadcasting the X Series just due to a couple of scheduling conflicts, but good to see Brenton Hobson out there. Again, another Synergy Sim Racing driver. Scott Griffiths, he's a new driver as well. So a lot of new drivers here tonight making their first race debut, or at least their first broadcasted race debut. If they did race one of the other nights. It's going to be a really interesting night tonight to see who's going to take it to the front of the field and who's going to be left just running laps at the back.
You're watching out there on YouTube and Twitch, the chat is there. Fire us with any questions or any feedback or anything you want to discuss. Just put it in there. Makes the broadcast more fun. It's a community.
Absolutely.
And I'll have more interesting facts too through the night as well.
Yes, if this is the first time you're watching one of the Australian NASCAR broadcasts, Nigel does love throwing a few facts out. They're definitely all track related. They're all location related. So not necessarily racing facts, but they could just be facts about Chicago. I feel like there's a few. Is there a fact about Chicago pizza on there tonight, Nigel?
I'll get back to you.
Okay. Whilst Nigel's getting us some facts and we're in practice, we're going to give a quick look at the championship standings after round 4. Well, these are the Truck Series standings after round 4. We'll give us one moment and we'll get the new ones up. Here we go. So these are the Xfinity Series standings after round 4. So Eugene Alonso, Matt Danson, Jason Holdsworth and Kobe Williams, they've all got one win to their name. They're locked into the playoffs currently. Looking at QGO, Andy Barber, Ruben Phelps, Stephen Williams, Darren McKenzie, Ricky Hyde, Henry King and Connor Nixon. Those are your top 12. They make up the rest of the top 12 playoff drivers. Brian Lundell just outside of the cutoff. Shane Bowen, Scott Rankin, Matthew Budd, Aaron Gilbert, Aaron Dorman, Marty Mitchell and Martin Walker. They're all pretty close, and it's still pretty close on further back. None of these points include drop rounds as of yet. There are 2 drop rounds for the drivers throughout this season, so their 2 lowest scoring rounds will be taken off their total come just before the playoffs, isn't it, Nigel?
That's correct.
For our drop round. So they come off just before the playoffs, and they will give us all the information we need to see who's made the cut, who's missed out. If you do miss out on the playoffs this season, there is a best of the rest competition, so each driver has a chance at getting another prize, or not another prize, but another award or title, if you will, come the end of the season. So definitely hang around. Don't hang up the boots as soon as you're out of the playoff picture. There is still racing to be done. There's still reason to have a good field. It does make the guys in the playoffs life a bit more challenging if you do rock up. So, just by being on circuit, you're creating a good environment. So we do encourage a lot of people to turn up in playoffs. It's very good racing still, and it's definitely makes it a lot more exciting. So 17 seconds till qualifying, Nigel. We do this just every week, but who do you have winning here tonight? Now, I'm going to put a restriction. You're not allowed to say Shane. Has to be anyone but Shane.
I'm going for another 2 wins in a row. Kobe Williams is my tip tonight. And I think he's been showing some really good form in short track racing last week. He was exceptional. And my other tip for tonight will be I've actually got three. I'm going to go with three.
Okay.
We've got 40 cars, so we can have three. I think Matt Bailey's going to be in for a good shot tonight. He showed some good pace in the truck series, and my rough outsider is Andy Barber. For some known reason, he'll just rock up and lap 125 and come through with the win because we won't see him all race. So that's my 3 tips for tonight.
Oh, they're good 3 picks. Kobe Williams, definitely one of the fastest drivers in the league at the moment. Definitely good performer as well. He did really good at Indianapolis. He led a majority of that race with Stephen Williams as well. So they're going to have a good night. Speaking of Stephen Williams, he's going to be my pick to win the race here tonight. I feel like it's about time for Stevie Williams to get another win on the board within the league. Not quite. I'm pretty sure he hasn't. Actually, I don't think he's clocked a race win yet this season. Has Stevie Williams, and not in the trucks. So not in the trucks, and I don't think he's also got one in the eSeries. So I put Stevie Williams on for a good night. Probably would have to pick Ruben Phelps, current truck series champion. Looking really good this season. He's been in quite good form. He did a really good job there at Richmond on Friday night. And definitely has a lot more pace. And I know the SRM boys, they get around it, they get their setups made, and they put on a good show. So Ruben, you're a second pick, and I think I'm going to throw a wild card. I'm going to throw someone who maybe isn't up the front a lot of the time, but can show a lot of pace, and that's Aaron Gilbert in the number 203 for the Jinx Shifters car. So he's really good on a road course. We have seen him and his teammate Henry King both do really well when it comes to the road courses on our schedule, but haven't seen too much oval pace. But I feel like when he gets it sorted, and he's going to have a really good race here tonight.
Matty M85 says, let's go. KC Racing? I think that's Kelvin. He's only here for the facts. Well, we'll have to make the first caution for the facts, I'm afraid. I've got a few brewing. Here at the moment that are going to be interesting. But yeah, if you're out there watching on YouTube or Twitch, keep the comments and chat going. We'll keep you guys in the broadcast as well. It's going to be a fun night, I'm afraid. It's a full build of 40 trucks too. That's impressive.
Well, yeah, full 40 car field. It's going to be pretty packed racing, and there's going to be a lot of different strategies out as well. So it's going to be really interesting. I really hope tonight we get a green flag pit stop at some point in this race. If it's not green to green through the whole thing, then I hope there's at least going to be a green flag somewhere, because green flag pit stops here at Chicago are one of my favorite things to not only execute but to watch as well. There's a lot of chance for error if you don't get the transition right. So it's going to be amazing to see who's practiced and who hasn't, who's had an official that they've had to go down in a green flag pit stop. So looking towards the end of qualifying at the moment, Stephen Williams, he leads Josh Micklemore from Lockie Acujo, Nick Bottrell in the 225 having a good qualifying, Matthew Budd 37, Shane Bowen in P6, 7th position is the 97 of Shane Van Gisbergen, P8 is Kobe Williams, the 11 car of Jason Holdsworth is in P9, and P10 belongs to Tom Freer. We'll get your
Now,
full.
there's also someone else we forgot too that's making their debut tonight. It's Nick Burling in the 598. He's making his first start in the series too. Sorry about that, Nick. And I know you've got a big fan base watching online as well. So if you're part of the Nick Burling fan group, give us a shout out in the chat. And yeah, good to have Nick part of the series too. Sorry about that, Nick. And yeah, sorry, Bryce. I forgot about him.
Oh, that's more than alright. As we watch Brad Newman, another new faces series, he's slowing down, so I believe that's the end of his run. Nothing's changed in the top 10. Brent Hobson's going around, but I think that's at a relatively slow speed, so not gonna set the world alight with that run. Probably just practicing his pit stops. Not a bad time to do that.
Cracking lap by Stevie Williams. Is that Stevie?
Yep, that is Stevie Williams in the number 98 car. Stephen Williams in the number 98. Kobe Williams is in the number 994. They've decided to put numbers really close together numerically, so they're not 94 and 98 are really close, and then there's the double 94. So it makes it a little bit challenging, but we should be able to move into gridding for this. The race this evening, and we'll get that one for you. So here is your starting grid. It's Stephen Williams leading Josh Mickelmore on row 1. Row 2 is Lachlan Akujo and Nick Bottrell, Matthew Budd and Shane Bowen on row 3. Shane Van Gisbergen and Kobe Williams make up a row 4. Row 5 is Jason Holdsworth and Tom Frere. P11, P12 is Andy Barber and Jaden Russell. Dave Douglas and Brendan Hobson are 13, 14, 15 belongs to Angus Lawford for the Project 36 car. Trent Gosley in the Me Racing is in P16. Ryan Jones for DPR Racing, race winner last Friday night in the Truck Series. He's 17th. Cameron Buckingham, P18. Brad Newman, he's newcomer to the series in P19 tonight. Matt Danson, P20. Ricky Hyde is in 21st, Connor Nixon 22nd, Aaron Gilbert 23rd, Riley Curtis, he's in the 24th position tonight, Ben Henniker and Tyson Broad at 25th and 26th respectively. Aaron Dorman for Australia Racing is in 27th. Henry King for Team Jinx Shifters is 28th. Ruben Phelps, SRM Australia, is 29th. Mark Cochran for the Apex Esports League, he's in P30 tonight. Matt Bailey, a newcomer to the series, debuted last week in the Truck Series, he's in P31. Tim Blundell, a long-time veteran of the series, he's in P32. Che Mello in 33rd for Nitro Racing. Matthew Raiden again for SRM Australia, he's in 34th. Brian Blundell, he's 35th tonight. Skipping over this guy, he's in the commentary booth next to me, is Nigel Cedar. 37 is Michael Campbell. Scott Griffiths in P38, Marty Mitchell in P39, and Nick Burling rounding out our grid in P40. It was just a little, but should be a really good race here tonight. I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of action, a lot of good overtakes, a lot of good defending. As the pace car just gets ready to roll off, we'll watch on board. It will be a green flag start here tonight. So when the pace car comes off, Stephen Williams will be leading the field. His job's just to maintain speed and wait until that green flag drops. Once that green flag drops, the race is on, no holds barred. We might see a few cars shoot at 3 wide into turn 1. Definitely able to do it here at Chicago. It's quite a fast track. It's not that forgiving as well. If you mess up the entry, you can be in a bit of trouble. You can slide off the track. You don't want to do that when there's a car right next to you. That would be a bit dangerous, but it would be very exciting for the broadcast. So long as we don't replicate Friday night's Truck Series race where we went out to a league record of 20 cautions, I think we'll be alright.
Oh, I think we'll be.
But pace car takes us around. Stephen Williams will have the field. Be interesting to see who's going to work with who's going to try and make moves off the start. I think Lockie Akujo, Akujo is going to try and make a move up the inside of Stephen Williams if he can get a good launch. We'll have to wait as the cars are coming down to the line. Green flag's out, and we are racing here tonight at Chicagoland. It's all kicking off in the background. We're 4 wide going down the main straight. 3 wide now. Stephen Williams will lead us into turn 1. Lockie Cujo on the inside of Josh Mickelmore. Josh Mickelmore having a great race at last Friday night's Truck Series. Unfortunate to get involved, but we're going to be 3 wide for the race lead. Outside of Stephen Williams, he's going to go. Lockie Cujo is jumping up to that high side now, trying to work it with Josh. Mickelmore is going to get the lap led for this race as he manages to clear Stevie Williams on the exit of turn 4. We have a car down on the infield. That's Ricky Hyde off into the infield. He's going to get past. Lucky Cujo, he's going to try and make a move on Stephen Williams around the outside, taking that momentum high. We'll try and keep that run going down the back straight. Should be able to clear. He does manage to get it clear. Will he go defensive or not quite? All he does, he takes the inside line, so taking the air off Stephen Williams there, trying to settle himself in behind Josh Mickelmore and just get that second position all sorted up. The momentum's going to carry Nick Bottrell up past Stephen Williams if he's not careful. Good run down to turn 1. Stephen Williams hemorrhaging spots down here on the low line, just not able to carry that momentum off the corner and get that drive down into turn 3. Most of these passes happen just as they get to turn 3. So
and just Stephen remember Williams too, Bryce as well, is that 2 sets of tyres over as well. So you wouldn't want to burn your tyres up too early in the run either. This is going to be interesting to see who's going out too hard too early.
Absolutely not.
Just to get track positions.
It's a good point. It's another thing as well. Like going down on that apron is not going to be helping the tyre wear. So Stevie Williams, it may be cutting distance, it may be cutting track, but it's going to be putting heat into that tyre. So we'll have to make sure he's not doing that all too much. Maybe just to keep track with this top 5 group. But other than that, we see Matt Danson going 3 wide in the middle of this pack. Jason Holdsworth, Jaden Russell also hanging around. They're on both sides. Dave Douglas, Jason Holdsworth, and Matt Danson, they're the cars 3 wide. Matt Danson's going to win out there. He's going to make his way through. Jason Holdsworth just holding that bottom line. Probably there, saving tyres. We know what Jason is.
I think that's what I get Ruben's truck and car mixed up because they're both gold, so I'm getting them mixed up. So sorry guys. And Lockie Cujo takes the lead.
He does over Josh Mickelmore. So Lockie Cujo, he's taking the lead. Get Nigel turned up. Nigel, give us a shout. Hopefully that is better for Nigel. If I need to adjust Nigel's voice anyway. You're sounding better than me, Nige, so hopefully you're coming through on the broadcast better. But a couple of moves in the top 10 as we took our focus slightly away from the race. Lucky Cujo, he's up to P1 in this race. So Josh Mickelmore, he's falling down to 2nd. Nick Bottrell's just making a move for P3 on Shane Bowen. Toby Williams has made it past Stephen Williams, and Tom Freer has made it up to P7. So a lot of movement. So it looks like Lucky Cujo is trying to make a move to extend here and get away from this pack.
And you wonder too, these 8 cars that are at the front row, are they pushing just that little bit too hard? And then the guys behind them, SVG, Danson, Holdsworth, Newman, are just holding themselves in position to, just keeping that tyre wear to an absolute minimum.
Yeah, absolutely. These guys back here, they're all pretty much single file. Matt Danson and Shane Van Gisbergen are going to trade in places and trying to make a move, but Matt Danson, he's up a couple of positions now, 11 positions now. Just making his way through. So Matt Danson, he's probably going to be a face we'll see come the last 5 laps. Make it right to the end. Make it to the front of this race by the end of this. I'd say by the end of this stop, should be looking at 40 laps of fuel here tonight at Chicago. I know the truck's gonna make it out to about 48, so probably around 45, 48 laps, maybe seeing movement, maybe even sooner. Any car can't quite. Do you have the figure on hand?
I don't. I think it's around that 38 to 43 mark, I think, is the thing. So one, you will have to double skin tires at some stage.
Definitely, you might actually have to triple stint tires at some stage if you want to save a set in reserve. So,
and that's the beauty about the X Series is that the minimal tire applications actually means that we get closer racing. That means that one can't just burn their tires up and keep on out and get new ones. That makes what this series is makes it so special and racing so great. We've had some great finishes in the past due to the fact that people go for the tire and fuel strategies. So it's exciting.
absolutely, as we ride on board here with Connor Nixon. So Connor Nixon, Nitro Racing, he's got his Nitro teammate Jason Holdsworth just in front of him. So these guys look like they're saving tyre, not trying to gas it up too early on exit. Really patient there with the throttle work. So Connor Nixon, Jason Holdsworth, they look to be saving tyres early on in this race.
Well, let's see what happens when it gets to lap 30. When we get to lap 30, we'll see these guys, the ones who have saved the tyres, will start really pushing it and then put the pressure on the top 7 or 8 at the front. So that's going to be something to look for as well. These ones in the back just playing the game at the moment. It's all strategy. Their crew chiefs will be crunching numbers everywhere, making sure that they get the right strategy in place. It's going to be a great finish.
Absolutely going to be interesting. I know the Nitro guys, they'll be communicating, so they'll try and figure out the best time to pit. I know they don't always work as a complete unit. They will race each other, which is a good thing. Same with a lot of the other teams. They all work together in the earliest part of the race, but generally when it comes to that last stop, it starts to get a bit free for all, a bit of every driver for himself. You go and make your own race count, you make it work, you get to the end. So it's good to see the cohesion and also the team racing as well. Lockie Akujo, he's gone. He's checked out. He's 1.2 seconds clear of Shane Bowen, who's made his way up to P2 in front of Josh Mickelman. Or is he
3 second
just
gap now
scoots
between
his way
front
up?
first and top 10, so it shows you the different driving strategies and pit strategies coming out in play as well at the moment. So and the good thing about the Xfinity car is that the field's spread out a lot as well, so we get some really long green flag runs.
It's always risky to come out and say we're going to get a green flag running here tonight at Chicagoland, because knowing the laws of the universe and how they like to work in iRacing, we may get a caution flag, and it may be of these top 5 drivers, as they're the ones who are racing the hardest, almost 3 wide there. Tom Freer just backing out, didn't want to send it 3 wide between Stephen Williams and I think that's the 225 of Nick Bottrell, so didn't want to stick it in there, but Nick Bottrell is giving a bit of a hurry up to Shane Bowen, like, Shane, come on, get past Josh here and let's keep moving. So now it's going to get interesting. We're very close there. Josh Mickelmore sliding up the track, doesn't manage to get in front on that top line, so Shane Bowen, he's going to have another run down into turn 1. You gotta think, if you're Shane Bowen, you want to clear Josh soon. You want to get in front of him, and it looks like he's going to carry that momentum off the corner. Should get a good drive. Yep, Josh Mickelmore, he's going to slide up behind Shane Bowen, right in front of Bottrell. So Bottrell might have a chance of making a move around the outside. It really depends, but we see Shane, he's running that really high groove. A lot of the other drivers sitting in that about 3rd lane. Shane's up near the wall.
Sometimes though, you're better off just letting the driver go. Like if someone's fighting you, just let them go and then save your tyres, and you'll get that position back sooner or later.
Absolutely, you got to think of it. You're not racing for position right now. You're racing for your tyres. You're trying to save them. You're trying to make them hang on, because the more tyre you can save, the more positions you'll work back. But it's also a fine act. You don't want to go too slowly. You'll give up more time and more positions than you intend. So it's striking that balance.
100%. And it's also good to mention as well, Bryce, is that the Xfinity car is actually going to be the car used in the Australian NASCAR Championships next year with Motorsports Australia, which is another exciting series. race gets started in 3.5 weeks' time for the qualifying series. So that's going to be in the truck, of course, but the top 30 drivers from the qualifying series are invited to get into the top 30, which will into the national championships next year, which will be done in the Xfinity car. So a lot of teams now joining the Xfinity series to get that extra practice in, so they're ready to go for next season. So it's it's all going at the moment.
Absolutely, it's going to be an exciting time. The Australian NASCAR Championships, they're going to be great. I'm registered myself, and I know a lot of other drivers in the series here currently are registered, so a lot of familiar faces, a lot of good racing. I think we've got enough cars registered, and we're all past the green light checks to fill one split so far.
And the good thing about it is too, it's the good thing is too, it's done with your I rating as well. So you will be racing against people around your own I rating, so you'll be able to get some really, really close action and close racing that's at what you want, and it's giving teams and drivers something to aim for as well. And we must thank Motorsport Australia for coming on board with the series. They've been nothing short of fantastic, and we can't wait for next season.
Absolutely, it's going to be really good racing, and that I rating, it's not just when you sign up. So every week the I rating will get checked, and your split will be re-rolled. So you need to make sure your I rating is still staying up there. If you want to get in that top split, and top split will have more points delivered to them, as we're using the same sort of point structure as the eNASCAR Road to Pro Series. So the highest splits will give a higher points paying position, and the lowest splits will give a lower points paying position. So you can win split 3, but you won't have gotten the same amount of points as someone who's won split 1. So it's really important, if you want to score the most amount of points and give yourself the best opportunity to qualify into that top 30, that you go out there, do those officials, get that I rating up, and make sure you've got good I rating as you go into this qualifying series. As we just watch on board with Jaden Russell and Kobe Williams getting ever so close to each other in the mid corner of 3 and 4. Ever so close.
But the good thing is, though, and the positive to it, is that the more officials that you do, and the more practice you do, when you come to our X Series and our Truck Series, which will continue next season, that's one thing I will say and make sure that everybody does know, that our Truck Series and our Xfinity Series will continue as normal next season. We are not disbanding them at all, so we'll be running 3 nights a week as of September. So which will be Sunday nights, Tuesday nights and Friday nights. So I must make my point is that the rumour is going around is that Tuesdays and Fridays will go, which is not the case. Our Tuesday night X Series and Truck Series will continue as normal.
I don't know why those rumours would be floating around. There's no reason that racing on a Sunday night should impact racing on a Tuesday and a Friday night. That's absolutely absurd. Whoever started saying that is a bit of a it's a bit interesting. I don't think I understand the thought process by that, but
Newman and Williams going 8th and 9th there on the outside.
I think this is where the top 8 sort of drivers, they're starting to feel it, that their tyres may be falling off quite a lot harder. Stephen Williams, he was up there in that top 3, and he was leading the race at one point. He qualified on pole. That's Jaden Russell and Kobe Williams again getting close to each other. Connor Nixon as well, just getting a bit of a poker moment there as he tries and makes his way through. But yeah, as I was saying, I think their tyres are starting to degrade a lot faster than the cars behind them. And trying to get, as you see Matthew Budd getting a good old slide out of the exit of turn 3. And talking about saving tyre, that's not the way to do it. But
well, we've got Danson and SVG and Newman now making their moves up the field too. They were all outside the top 10 there for a little while, so they're now making their way up, so they've saved their tyres a little bit. It's like, SV, looks like SVG's now making the move on Danson. Looks like he'll take 4th. Yeah, it is. The pack is coming back together, which is exciting. It's
exciting. It's also one of the higher risk moments of a race. So when you've got cars who are running hard at the start and then their tyres fall off and you've got a pack behind them who are just sitting on their rubber, they're waiting to make a move, and be a recipe for disaster as well.
I've been called out to be a crew chief. I'm not sure if I'm going to be a very good crew chief. I prefer that you shall not pass. Cross-O-Dog. Not sure who Cross-O-Dog is, but thank you for joining and keep the comments coming, but I'm not too sure if I'm going to be too good of a crew chief. I can try.
I could see you as a pretty good crew chief, Nigel. I think you do a good job. So Shane Van Gisbergen did make that pass on Matt Danson as we were watching. Matt really didn't fight. He kind of let Shane through. Just probably thinking big picture. Let him go. He's got the speed. I'm going to tuck in. I'll save my tyres. And we'll keep going until our pit stops. Which, if you're in Team Nigel, they're coming up at about 8 to 15 laps, 13 laps time. If you're in Team me or Team Bryce, they're coming up in about 18 to 23 laps time. So,
well, I could be way out, and this is the problem. This is why I should never be a crew chief. I'd be sending my driver down pit road, and everyone would be thinking, "What is he doing down pit road?"
I think it would be fine. There is one person already going in, so Nigel, you may not. We both may be wrong, it may be way earlier, but Matt Bailey has gone down the pits. And Matt Bailey actually jumped to the pits, so something may have happened for Matt Bailey. We'll see if anyone else comes down, if that's just an incident. We do have a driver who's already lapped down. That's Mark Cochran. I believe he's also out of the race, as we're not getting any pictures live with him right now. So Mark Cochran out of the race. There's Lockie QJ. He's coming up to lap. I believe this is the 598 of Nick Burling, if I'm not too wrong. No, it's the 016. The 016 of... Ooh, as he gets into the fence right in front of the race leader. That's not what you want to do. That's a...
Well, I reckon Matt Bailey was getting a little bit loose, and he's out of the race.
No, so that
One
is
of my
the Nick
tips
Burling.
is gone.
Bailey, yeah, I think he's out of tonight's race. Same with Mark Cochran out of this race as well. So Nick Burling is the first car a lap down. Doesn't quite have the right number on the side of that car that I was expecting to see, but that's nothing that we can't inquire about later on. The lucky QJ, he leads 9/10 over Shane Bowen. He's got Josh Micklemore behind him. Shane Van Gisbergen's up to 4th. Brad Newman's made his way up to P5. Matt Danson as well. He's in P6. Connor Nixon's also found his way into the top 10 in P8 currently. Same with Ryan Jones, your winner from Friday night's truck race. He's now in 9th. So a lot of fast drivers are making their way up the field. Jason Holdsworth is currently still in the sticks. Unsure what's happened with his race, unless he's going for the long game, and Connor, his teammate, is pushed on because they were running closer together.
I think he's been away on holiday for a week and he might be having holiday hangover. Sorry, Jason.
Well, we can't be too nice to Jason. We have to bag on him at some point.
100%. And I'll thank Jason for all the work that he does with me in the series too. He does a lot of work behind the scenes that make this whole thing possible every week, so we must give a massive shout out to Jace and all about the Australian NASCAR eSeries board, Tom, Richard, and yourself.
This broadcast definitely wouldn't be as good as it is without Jason's work on some of the graphics for the season. The championship standings, he does all the graphics work for all of those. He gets those sort of complied with my request to get some graphics made for the series, like it didn't happen before. I asked him, hey, is it possible to do this? And he said, yeah, I can do that. So big shout out to Jason, and hopefully his race is just getting started. So as we turn almost to a quarter of the way through this race, look at QJ, he's out in front. Shane Van Gisbergen now, he's up to P3. He's pushing Josh Micklemore. I feel like there may be a move coming up for Shane Van Gisbergen. Josh Micklemore.
I'm intrigued to this Cross-O Dog is on Twitch. It's going to be annoying me all night. But thanks for joining us. I appreciate it. I think he's waiting for a fact.
He's definitely hanging out for a fact. I think we're all hanging out for a fact. I don't think we're going to get one all too soon. Nigel's making the ooh-ee, ooh-ah, ting-tang, walla-walla, bing-bang noises. That means there's some racing going on. We've got Kobe Williams side by side with Dave Douglas now. He's fallen down the auto. He's had a really rough time. There's only 3 wide around the lap car. Oh, this is a bit precarious.
Nerve-wracking.
Nigel's absolutely going for the best reaction of the stream award. So he'll get that one as we
back up the second now. You know, move on Josh Mickelmore.
He did. So as we're looking back further than the field, where it's all getting a bit spicy and it's all getting a bit loose, a bit free for all-ish. It's Shane Van Gisbergen up to P2. I for one am going to say I'm not really surprised. We know Shane's got a really good set of skills when it comes to driving in the real world, and they definitely translate over to the sim world as well. So Shane, it's great to have you here and great to see you out there racing, and maybe we'll see a Shane Van Gisbergen win. And maybe we'll get a Shane Van Gisbergen interview here tonight. We might not. But currently sitting in P2.
We'll see. Connor Nixon's up to 8 now, and our Trucks Series winner from last Friday night, Ryan Jones, is up to 9. Matty Bugs in 10th, so they're on the move as well.
Absolutely, they're pretty close to each other. Connor Nixon's still electing to go to that low side here. He's not going to have as much momentum as Jones will down the back straight. But Jones, he'll set himself up nicely for turn 3. If he can get a good launch off the exit of 4, he might have a run at him in turn 1. Really depends. You've got to use that draft down the back straight as well. There's a lot of drafting used here at Chicagoland. It's not exactly easy to drive. And it's not exactly to get good lap times if you haven't got a car in front of you. So we'll have to see, but that top line's definitely where the momentum is coming off the corner. Connor Nixon's still able to hold it.
Kobe Williams is in the wall.
Jump to Kobe Williams. He's in the middle of the pack, so getting into the wall right now is probably not the best idea, Kobe, if you're out there listening. Try not to do that.
Got a line of cars coming up behind that. I can't see who that is. Is that Ruben?
Ruben Phelps, yes, Ruben Phelps in the 06 car. He's coming up behind Kobe Williams. Tyson Broad's behind him as well. Currently having to deal with Andy Barber, who's trying to make a move up the inside. Yes, as we panned away for 2 moments. It's Shane Van Gisbergen leading the race here. 43rd lap. We've got a lead change. Daniel take that lap. He'll lead one across the line. Brad Newman's not too far away from the top 3. Neither is Matt Danson as well. So Matt Danson's making his way through. Brad Newman as well. He's up 15 positions from where he started this race. So
we've got a caution. We've got a caution. I think we're going to. Trent Gosley's in the grass.
You can't say the C word until it actually happens. I think you're actually maybe a little bit behind, Nigel.
Could be.
he went off the grass a little bit ago, according to my timing things, and he came back on. But
I've got yours going, and I've also got like the actual in-game race going. So maybe I'm a little bit behind. Sorry.
Just a little bit.
I'll catch up.
I think the most recent notice from Trent Gosley was he was coming out of pit lane, but we can go have a look at what happened with Trent Gosley going off the track. Trent Gosley got a little bit so skatey here coming down for pit road, and it was a bit dicey. Tags the inside wall and then heads down pit lane. So Trent Gosley having a bit of a nightmare there coming down pit road. So
I've got to say, well done though. That was well done.
it was well done not to have a bigger collision into that entire wall, especially being on that grass and fishtailing the way he was. So it was managed to hold it very well. So we'll jump on board. Ryan Jones, he's running that top line. Trent Gosley now, he wants fresh rubber. So this is the difference between fresh rubber and used rubber. Trent Gosley, he'll just make his way back through this pack. He'll try and get through. We'll try not to impede their race as best as possible.
Oh, we got a yellow flag.
But we do. We have the first caution of the night. So it's time for a fact. It's looks like Nick Burling and Ricky Hyde involved. So we'll just quickly jump to Nick Burling's car for this wreck. So Nick Burling going into turn 3. Comes sort of up the track and tags Henry King. That's collected 4 cars. None of them will have wanted that to happen, so...
No.
Ooh, a lot of cars entering that, still really fast, not really seeing the damaged race car on the track, so we'll jump on with Ricky Hyde. Get a view of what happened in his cockpit. Ooh, sorry, no, Ricky Hyde. See what happened here from his perspective. So we see the 596 of, and then straight up into nowhere really go. And then this is the scary part when you're sitting facing the other way. 1, 2, 3 cars close by, 4, 5. It's just it's a nightmare. Manages to weigh, gets it onto the apron when it's safe to do so. So really good there from Ricky Hyde. Probably should have waited until coming back up onto the banking a little bit later. It's the only critique I could offer. But other than that, really well weighted. And we got a lot of cars coming down pit lane. Good timing on that one. So Shane Van Gisbergen's in. Just about everyone's probably going to come in. Yeah. I don't think anyone's going to stay out there. Tim Blundell's and Brian Blundell, yeah, they're all rolling down. So we'll get onto the pit lane.
Let's see who gets off the pit road first.
Absolutely. There is a couple cars staying out. Connor Nixon just rolls straight through. I think he missed his box. That's not good for Connor Nixon.
There's a lot of cars missing their boxes, and they take tyres. This will be their first. This will mean
double tyres. Ricky Hyde's up for tyres. And the 2 tyres by the looks of things. I think Lockie Acugio may have beaten Shane Van Gisbergen out of the box there.
Oh wow. This because the ones who took tyres only got 1 set left, which will make this very interesting.
It will. They did get a good 50 or so laps out of those tyres, so it might not be too much of a stretch to get them another 50 here tonight.
100%.
So we're 100%. Just under halfway through this race. Tyres went out for quite a long way, so I think everyone's... It's a good call to take tyres here. I don't think there's I don't think there's a downside to taking a set of tyres here. It'd be interesting to see what Connor Nixon decided to do. He's the only one who didn't come down the pit lane. Yeah, I think it was just a missed box here for Connor as he's coming back down this time. That's a big mistake. That's going to relegate him to the back of the order. So now Connor Nixon's job will have to be working through the back of the field here tonight.
So yeah, take tyres, fill it up, and then yeah, do a couple of adjustments if you want to tighten your truck up or tighten your car up or loosen it up a little bit, and then yeah, see if you can get another 50 or 60 laps out. And if there is a late caution, you still have that set of tyres, because that's going to be the key to the race now. Is if you can hold that set of tyres for the last 10 to 15, is what's going to make you win this race.
Absolutely, especially if there's a late caution. We did have one just before. It was a bit of a interesting caution. I believe Henry King is still out there rolling, so that's good to see.
Yes. Now we better have a fact. I've got an interesting fact for everybody. Now it's a bit nerdy. It's going to be a little nerdy, but that's okay. The Field Museum in Chicago owns the world's most complete Tyrannosaurus Rex skeleton, and its name is Sue.
Its name is Sue?
Yes. So if you want to see the best Tyrannosaurus Rex, you go to Chicago.
That's the name. So I didn't know that Chicago had my grandmother in their museum, but That's an unnecessary shot. I love my grandmother. I actually took her to take her cat to the vet today. So that was a very unnecessary shot, calling her a dinosaur. It was there to take. Now, if I don't appear,
Grandma. Hope you're watching.
If I don't appear on the next Friday night's broadcast, then you'll know I am no longer of this realm, and I've been executed. So.
Well, there's an interesting fact for the first caution. Tyrannosaurus Rex named Sue.
even Automod did not approve of that one.
Oh dear. So who we got? Who's leading SVG? Josh Wickelmore, Brad Newman, Matt Danson, Tom Freer, Shane Bowen, Ryan Jones, and Matthew Budd, and Jaden Russell in the top 10. This is going to be hot. This restart's going to be hot. Look at them all lining up. This is going to be on.
It's going to be great. Fresh tyres, going to be on. Pace car lights are out, so we are going green this time by. Ben Van Gisbergen leads Lachlan Acugio to the line. He'll have control in this Geico restart zone. Oh, wait. They're in the zone. Waited to the end, and now we're rolling. Green flag is out, and we're back racing here tonight at Chicago. Shane Van Gisbergen gets a really good start. Brad Newman as well. He's going to try and sneak his way down to that inside line. Lockie Acugio is getting hung out to dry on that outside. We're 3 wide further on, back in the field as well. So a lot of close racing, a lot of hard racing, trying to make these positions 4 wide even further on back, 4 wide down the back straight here to the turn 3.
Oh no!
I think there's another off track there for, I think, Aaron Gilbert. There's a big crash in behind. So this is going to be the second caution of the night. A lot of cars involved. We'll have to jump back. We'll have to have a look. Aaron Dorman involved in this yellow flag. We'll go have a look. So here's what it was. It was 4 wide on the exit. Aaron Dorman here, he goes off track. Carnage, absolute carnage happening in front of him. So it's a 05 involved. 026 makes it through. Oh, Aaron Dorman just gets tagged at the end of it. I'll have to have a look. Scott Griffiths, this is his perspective of it. So he's driving on through. He's one of the cars involved. There's Connor Nixon going through. Oh, Scott Griffiths, actually the car who gets turned in the end. Scott Griffiths, he gets turned. Tim Blundell also involved. Here's what his view looks like. You wouldn't have seen it if you were Timmy. He's absolutely blindsided by that. Gets hooked behind.
Not much Blundell can do there.
Not at all.
Yeah. When you want to take things 3 or 4 wide, you've got to expect these things to happen.
So Nick Burling wasn't involved. He's been in the pit lane for a little bit. I think Cameron Buckingham also involved. So he gets a good look. He's absolutely nothing he can do there. I think it's a 651 of Marty Mitchell, maybe the culprit there. We're going to look at Marty Mitchell is on board through this whole situation. A lot of it's kicking off. No, it's Kobe Williams actually who gets on the back of it. So Kobe Williams is going to be the cause of the caution. So Kobe Williams trying to make up some position here.
Well, Kelvin, I'm happy that you're smarter because of my facts. I'm happy.
Just gets into the rear quarter there, turns a lot of cars around. Aaron Gilbert's also involved, so not a nice caution there this evening. So a lot of cars in the pit lane getting damage repaired. That's Aaron Dorman, Michael Campbell, Aaron Gilbert, Tim Blundell, Scott Griffiths, and Nick Burling. They're all in the pit lane getting damage repaired. A couple of cars are rolling now. So Aaron Dorman, Michael Campbell, they're on the way out of pit lane, so they don't go a lap down. But that's going to stack them all up for the second caution of the night. We'll go racing after a few short laps. So, Nigel, this is
yes.
If this is a time, it's a time for a fact.
Well, there's plenty of facts going around at the moment. But Route 66, the most famous road in the United States, starts in Chicago.
That's a... I actually didn't know it started in Chicago. That's a good
Judging
fact.
from my funny facts about Chicago, yes. That's what I've been told. If I'm
95.
wrong, please let me know.
Do we have our very own Lightning McQueen here tonight? No, I don't think we have a number 95 here tonight. Okay. There's a very good opening for a Lightning McQueen joke and Radiator Springs though, and the Piston Cup as well. So he pissed, did what in his cup? Now that joke would have been funnier if I got the execution right and stumbled over every single word. But we're just ticking down the laps as we get ready to go back green flag racing. Your top 10 is Shane Van Gisbergen, Josh Mickelmore, Brad Newman, Matt Danson. They're both up 16 positions here tonight. Tom Freer, Lockie Acujo, Ryan Jones, Shane Bowen, Matthew Budd, and Dave Douglas. A few stories from the night were Connor Nixon. He missed his pit stall under that first caution, so he got relegated to the back of the field. He's now down in P21. Surprisingly, that is actually up one position from where Connor... Oh, no, he's down to P22. So he's dead even where he started this race. Oh, maybe P21. Who knows? Getting ourselves sorted under caution. Double file, kind of change positions here and there as they get slightly in front, slightly behind of other cars. So we'll get them all too wide. Pipe east car lights are out. We'll go green this time. Now, we all may have learnt our lesson. Let's not get as foolhardy and reckless as we did on the exit of turn 1 this time. I know we like to go 4 wide. I know there's an opportunity to go 4 wide here, but I'm praying that the drivers this time may see a little bit more reason and make it through at least another 3 or 4 laps before we start doing the 3 wide, 4 wide enders. Now we're going to get on board with Shane Van Gisbergen, and he'll have control of the field going into the ICO restart zone. Shane Van Gisbergen, he's going to go mid of the box. Gets a good jump on that low line. Brandon Newman's following through behind. Josh Mickelmore not really getting great run there on the outside. He will be on the outside and able to make a challenge into turn 1. Well, Brandon Newman's just gone up high, just try to block Josh there. Say, nope, you can't squeeze me in the bottom. I'm going to take that bottom. Matt Danson's now going to look down to the inside, carrying the momentum off turn 1 into turn 3. We'll try and make a way through. Josh Mickelmore is going to try and sneak his way around the outside, just sniffing the rear bumper. He did. A little bit loose. It's all tight racing here, especially on that top line. Matt Danson's looking up the inside of Shane Van Gisbergen for the lead of this race. Matt Danson throws it into turn 1. Should be able to clear Shane. Shane will take the momentum off the corner. No. So Stephen Williams as well going to get there. Shane Bowen's getting collected behind. Toby Williams, Shane Bowen around. We're going to go under caution for the 3rd time tonight. The Shane Bowen involved.
3 cautions.
That they do a lot of racing as well. So here's Shane Bowen. He gets well involved here. It gets up, gets loose, goes up in front of Ruben Phelps, comes down the track. Miracle to not get collected by the rest of the field. Or
that was lucky.
I think everyone made it through. I don't think we had another car crash on the way out. We'll get a look at Ruben, get his on board for that crash. We'll get his on board. So there's Shane Bowen getting turned around. I think everyone else makes it through. Ben Hobson, he gets through. Everyone else unscathed. Shane Bowen, the worst he got was turned around. Probably those tyres getting trashed, but he will live on to race another day. So we're under the 3rd caution here tonight. That's the reason. Now, hopefully that's it. I know we're not going to relive the 20 caution night of last Friday, but what a restart. We had great racing up the front, really close racing. I thought Josh Mickelmore may have been in a position to turn Brad Newman there, coming off the exit of turn 4. Just so tight, the margins of error so thin. Matt Danson and Ryan Jones, they made their way through on Shane Van Gisbergen before that caution came out. So, going to change up in the order again. About 66 laps to go here tonight. Now, we don't want to deplete all the flags, so Trent Gosley there, he'll get his lap back. But whilst we're going around in the caution here tonight, we're going to take a short break. And we're back with you just before the green flag flies. And we're back. So whilst we were away, we did notice a few cars go down pit lane. They did look to take some fuel. They did look to top their tank off. Don't think they're going to make it to the end of this race with, what, 64 laps to go on one more tank of fuel. I do believe there's going to at least need to be one more stop, maybe with another caution in the next 15 laps, or another caution later in this race. They can go back down, top off, and they'll all make it to the end, but be sure it's just a bit too early to get to the end of this race now, as we roll down the back straight under caution for hopefully the last time tonight. Matt Danson, he'll have the control of the field coming out of turn 4. Ryan Jones, he's up into P2. That's 15 positions for him as well tonight. So a lot of drivers in the top 10 have made leaps and bounds on the starting position tonight. Tyson Broad, he's got the most of 17 positions gained. So actually, he's equal with Ruben Phelps and Shane Mello for the most positions gained tonight. A lot of good racing, a lot of positions, a lot of movement up and down this field tonight. So Matt Danson will lead us to the Geico restart zone. He's in the zone now, waiting, and he's gone. We're back racing here at Chicagoland for the 4th time tonight. The field goes 3 wide, almost immediately. Connor Nixon and Ruben Phelps up to that outside line. Matt Danson, really good launch off the inside line. Brad Newman and Shane Van Gisbergen work that low side. Ryan Jones, he'll try and keep the momentum up on the high side. He'll take that down straight. He's battling Shane. Shane's going to slot in behind. The top 6 are all now single file. Maybe not looking to throw up the status quo anymore. See if we can get some more laps of green under our belt before we threaten another caution. Connor Nixon's making absolute moves. I don't actually think that's Connor Nixon. I think that's David Douglas on the outside. The number 10 car making moves. He's gone 3 wide into turn 1. Dave Douglas, he's had an absolute cracker of a race so far. Let's see where Davey finishes up tonight, but he's currently making a good effort for a top 5 finish. But Ruben Phelps, he's just sneaking into your top 10. His head so slow. Sneaking in. Connor Nixon's made a charge. He had that error coming down pit lane earlier on tonight. So he's back up into your top 15. A lot of drivers just really close, really hard racing here. On lap 65. Halfway through the race. Or over halfway now.
Guys too would have heated the tyres up and then cooled them back down and heated them back up again. So that could
play a part earlier or later in the race, late in the race as well.
Absolutely.
Looks like
I
we're going
think
3 wide here.
you're not quite Josh Mickelmore, thinking better of it. Gonna get up on that high side. A lot of cars really wanting to get up high and then arc in low. Dave Douglas going to try and make a move on Shane Van Gisbergen around the outside. Get a bit of momentum in the run. I think Josh gives him a bit of a push. Shane doesn't really get any help from the 27 of Tyson Broad, so he's going to lose a position out to Dave Douglas and another one out to Josh Mickelmore.
But just remember too, though, SVG had a really good tyre run to him in the first stint, which made him, I think he picked up 7 or 8 spots once everyone's tyres started to go off, so he's just letting them go. He knows he can catch them later on, but Dave Douglas, he's showing
I think it's going to be a bit more difficult this time, Ryan. Shane's got the skill to do it, but there's also Brad Newman, Ryan Jones and Matt Danson. They're all up the front. They've all got good tyre runs as well, so if they're able to do good laps and hang on to their tyres at the same time, it might be a bit more difficult for Shane. If it was Brad Newman and Ryan Jones, they're getting a bit argy-bargy. There's a bit of touch in the brother there. Dyson in chat. Yeah, I saw that one too. It's an interesting thing. It's actually rolling up and then jumping out of line. I think you actually need to do that before the start finish line. So could be wrong, but it's definitely a tactic. Top 5, they look to have singled out Brad Newman and Matt Danson. They're going to go at it into turn 3. Matt Danson's going to relinquish the lead to Brad Newman. So Brad Newman's your new race leader. Fifth race leader. Well, but look, we had Lockie TJ, we had Stephen Williams, we had Shane Van Gisbergen, Matt Danson, and now we have Brad Newman. The 5 different race leaders within around halfway through this race, so well, it's just building up the excitement levels for the rest of the night. So Connor Nixon, he's making his way back up to the top 10. Kobe Williams actually is going to rip it around the outside. So see you later, Connor. That top 10's mine. I'm going to go for another position. Tom Free's going to lose out to Kobe Williams now. Well, Connor Nixon just gets a bit of a block there. He's showing, no, this is my line. I'm not going to have any of this. So Connor forced to take the outside line. I'm going to try and give him a run on the outside. Doesn't quite have enough room to squeeze up to the wall. We'll try and do it here in turn 3, but he's under attack from the other Synergy Sim racing car, with Jaden Russell. Let's see how this one goes. Connor is really close on that outside line. There's a lot of times where Tom Frere, he's come up the racetrack in front of Connor. Maybe not the nicest way possible, but hey, that's part of this racing. If you can't get by, then you can't get by. It's being well held by from Tom Frere. So, Connor Nixon, you have to find a way through a different method. If you can try and make your position known, then go for it. Try and get into that top 10. We see Kobe Williams now on the outside of Shane. So Shane definitely dropping off, waiting for that long run to kick in. We do suspect a long run car from Shane here tonight, so pretty surprisingly watching him drop out. Just save that rubber, make sure he can get those tyres to the end of the race if needed. So there is one more set of tyres. Definitely has another quick run in this thing. It's going to be interesting to see if also has good short run pace as well as long run pace. So have to hang on for the final stop to see that one play out. Jump around and see what else is happening. We've got Shane Bowen and Matthew Budd going at it into turn 1. Shane Bowen on that high side looking for the momentum. Should be able to carry more off the corner than Matthew Budd. Matthew Budd not able to defend it on the inside. He's probably exposed for the 152 as well. Manages to slide up, covers off Angus Lawford for the time being. Outside line, a little bit of a check-up for Matthew Raiden. Sometimes it hurts to see a lot. It's good old Matty Ray. So good to see him out there actually racing tonight instead of joining us here. We do love him having a chat, but he's also great to watch drive a car. Do that. Dave Douglas, another driver who's a really good night here tonight. Currently sitting in 5th position. This top 4 have decided to take a little bit of a run, run for the hills here. So Josh Mickelmore is the last of the 4. And then we've got Ryan Jones, Matt Danson, and Brad Newman. They're all pushing on. Matt Danson, he was leading this race at the restart. Did lose it to Brad Newman. He's stayed welded to his rear bumper ever since.
It's good. That's a good battle at the front, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's great racing. Matt Danson's just probably sitting here saving a bit of tyre, saving a bit of fuel, letting Brad Newman pull him along. See if he can make something happen with strategy later in this race, or if he can force Brad to use his tyre a little bit more in certain situations. So a lot of high-level racing out of these two drivers. Ryan Jones is also just hanging with it. He's just there. He's just being towed along, having a good night. He's a race winner. He's expected to win a race here in the Xfinity Series. He has got the skill for it, so I expect to see Ryan Jones on the top step of the podium at some point in this series. Josh Mickelmore as well. He's been threatening to do the same in both the Truck Series and the Xfinity Series. Good pace from these drivers up front. Ruben Phelps has made his way up through the top 5. Currently under threat from Tyson Broad in the number 27. So let's see how this battle plays out. But Dave Douglas just dropped back ever so slightly. Kobe Williams, after being involved in a caution not too long ago, has made his way up to P8. Gisbergen looks like he's starting to make ground back on the cars in front of him, as his tyres are starting to overlap and become better than those in front. Bottrell there on the outside, just getting passed by Lockyer Cugio, defending series champion. Lockyer Cugio in the gold SRM car. It's a very nice looking little. Makes his way through. It gets held up on that inside line, not able to get the power down, so Nick Bottrell may be able to carry momentum down the back straight, may be able to get a poke out here into turn 3. Probably not going to. Going to try and hang on that high side, build the momentum around as Tom Freer comes down, slightly blocking Lockyer Cugio, not able to send it in as hard as he likes into that bottom groove, and he checks his momentum up slightly, but Nick Bottrell not able to get power down out of turn 3 and 4. Loses out there, so Tom Freer now making a move on Connor Nixon. Connor Nixon trying to go around the outside of Tom Freer. Tom Freer sliding up the racetrack, loosey-goosey, here we go. Maybe an opportunity for Connor. A lot of hard racing between these two tonight. The Connor Nixon, he's going to try and fire it down the inside here. He's going to go right to the back of Shane Van Gisbergen and try and send it as hard as he can. Drive it in as hard as he can. It's held to the inside. We're going to touch on the exit of turn 4. Oh, there's a bit of racing on our hands here. So Tom Freer, Connor Nixon. The only thing I think stopping Connor from sending it in harder is Shane's rear bumper. So currently not unable to make the pass on Tom Freer. Probably isn't going to.
That position. I think Tom wants that position.
I don't think Tom wants the position more so than he just doesn't want Connor to be the one in front of him. So a lot of defensive racing coming out of Tom Freer here tonight. And Connor Nixon, if he can try and get to that outside, I think he may be able to get a move done, as he looks to do that this time by. Tucks back in onto that inside line, not going for it now, maybe deciding, hey, I'm cooking my tyres trying to get past this guy, might not be a good idea, there's a big pack in front of me, I don't think I'm going to be able to get a position here, let's go wait for a bit longer, and then we'll try and make a move later on.
Crosso Dog, SVG and an epic fuel save, he just never know, he could be trying to make it to the end. We are on lap 84, so maybe he's playing the long game, so if there is that late caution, he puts his set of new tyres on his car, which gives him the edge over everybody else. Who knows? There'll be a lot of different strategies out play out there at the moment. But Matt Newman and Brad Newman, sorry, and Matt Danson, sorry. Yeah, I'll get it right in a minute. They're still neck and neck after 30 so laps. It's amazing driving by both.
Yeah, restarted around lap 62, so we're in lap 84. So 22 laps have gone by, and these two are still very close to each other. But they're they're welded. They're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna move from those two positions all night. Ryan Jones is just hanging on, hoping that he can stay with them. They're gonna come up against some lap traffic soon, so a couple of lap cars here tonight. We'll have to see if they impact the leaders at all. We definitely hope they don't. This has been a really good battle up front so far. We do have Josh Micklemore and Tyson Broad. They're both having a good race here for P4. Just a bit too far away from the podium to really do anything at the moment. Ruben Phelps is making his way up. So Ruben Phelps may have a crack at trying to get to that podium. We'll see if he can bridge that gap. We'll actually have to see if he can pass Tyson Broad and Josh Micklemore first, and then it'll leave Shane Van Gisbergen. So Shane's catching up to these guys. I had a feeling he would, sitting back saving his tyres, but I don't know if he's going to be close enough to Danson and Newman. And those are the two drivers I think he'd want to be getting closer to. So looking at the lap times so far, Shane Van Gisbergen last time by, he did a 31.84. Now, Brandon Newman and Matt Danson, they're doing 31.72 and a 31. So that's your best time. They did a 32.77 and a 32.6 to Shane Van Gisbergen's at 32.7. So they're running about the same time. So he's not really. It's nearly a 10. Nearly a 10th a lap. He's pulling back. So he's got a bit of speed. He's pulling a bit more ground back, but we'll have to wait until we see what happens in a few more laps time. But he'll definitely be on the back of Ruben Phelps soon. He'll definitely be hunting down the door of that P3 spot. Here's another driver who's quite quick in the series, Kobe Williams. He's currently riding up on the high side. He's down 6 positions from where he started. Hasn't been the best race for Kobe Williams this time out. Definitely had other races where he was a bit more dominant, a bit cleaner than he has been tonight. Doesn't take away from his overall skill as a driver. It's just not one of those nights for Kobe Williams. So he's down 5 positions now and looking to recover into that top 10. Another driver who came back from the rear of the grid was Connor Nixon. He messed up. He missed his box. Had to come back down after the other cars had pitted. Now he's made his way up. He's going to be lapping Vic Burling here today, and he's going to also try and make his way past Ricky Hyde. So a bit of lap traffic for Connor Nixon. It's put a bit of a gap between him and Tom Freer, who have just decided to be one of the most exciting battles on the road here tonight. As we see Lockie Accuser and Brent Hobson, they're both trying to squeeze their way past Nick Burling, who got really loose on that outside. They make it through. About 90, we've got about 46 laps to go here tonight.
There's a great battle happening between SVG and Ruben Phelps at the moment, as well as Brad Newman and Matt Danson. Like it's a great battle happening here at the moment.
Tyson Broad and Josh Micklemore as well, they're going at it. So a couple of 2-car groups just trying to want to have a fight. They're just, no friends are being made here tonight. They just want to take a position. Take a position when it's there. Just go for it. Stop making friends. Stop. The hell with driving for your tires. Let's go racing tonight, guys. That's what I feel has been said. Connor Nixon and Tom Freer, they're two shining examples of the hard racing here tonight. And same here with Tyson Broad, Josh Micklemore. They've been hanging together, pretty much welded together for most of the time. I mean, Brad Newman and Matt Danson, I don't think you could stick a car in between them half the time. That's how close they've been. They've been so close together on their lap times as well, like half a tenth separating them at the best of times. So Matt Danson there, Brad Newman 32.94 and Matt Danson was a 32.90, so less than half a tenth between them. So in a lovely clean race, Andrew. It's been a lovely clean race here tonight, and it's been an absolute joy to commentate. It's a definite contrast when you look at Friday night's race and the amount of cautions we had there, the amount of incidents that were just theirs, not even car contact incidents. Some of them were just spins and a bit of inexperience and a bit of not knowing how the track's going to develop throughout a race, and just mistakes made off that. And coming here tonight to Chicago, this is what we needed. We have had 3 cautions tonight, but it really would not have felt like it. It really doesn't have felt like we've had 3 cautions here tonight. They're all done within, you know, about 10-15 laps of each other, and then we've had a green flag run now for about 30 laps. So we're sitting here pretty happy, and I hope everyone else is enjoying the broadcast tonight. There's a few drivers who we probably should mention. They're a lap down now. Jason Holdsworth, not the night he wanted to have, went down pit lane for unknown reason. Unsure if he got involved in an incident here tonight, but he is down a lap. There's a couple of guys in front of him to get that lucky dog. As we got a caution here tonight. That's Shane Bowen involved. Andy Barber as well. There's a massive crash. We saw it just down the road on the last camera. So we'll get on board with Andy Barber, and we'll have a look at what happened in this caution. Here's what happened. This is a yellow flag. Never mind, that's not the yellow flag. That's Michael Campbell. This is the yellow flag from Andy Barber's point of view. What happened? So Andy Barber's come in pretty hot, hasn't really seen it, locks it up. Oh, it hits Tom Freer. So Tom Freer involved. That's a big name in this race here tonight. We're gonna ride back for him. Tom Freer. What is happening? He gets into the wall by the looks. Oh, that wheel was hard right into the wall. And Shane Bowen just comes through and absolutely collects him. Tom Freer, maybe a wheel disconnect here. We'll jump on board and just have a look at what happened. It looks like it's a wheel disconnect. We'll run it back. So he's coming through turn 1 here. In through turn 2, everything looks fine. It's loose. Has to hold it right. Snap. There it goes. I'm pretty sure that's a wheel disconnect there.
Yep, 100%. That's a wheel disconnect. From what I can see.
And Shane Bowen comes through like a bat out of hell. I have to get on board and have a look at this, because this is a big hit. So Shane Bowen, he's got 152 in front of him. He doesn't see anything. Bang. There's Tom Freer. That is, we do not froth that. No, Andrew, we do not froth a collision like that. That's not what we want to see. So it looks like some technical issues. I won't say it's just been driven into a wall, because that makes no sense. So Tom Freer, he's in the pits. He's got some pretty heavy damage. In Bowen as well, he's in the pits. Heavy damage for him. Like, not much you can do there. Unsighted and just clips the left rear of that car. So that's a rough night in the office for Shane Bowen, one of our regular top 5 drivers in both the trucks and in the Xfinity car. So he was having a good night. We do have I'm gonna say Nick Bottrell is a new race leader, but he's only the new race leader because he hasn't pitted. So Nick Bottrell electing not to pit. Everyone else behind has. They all came down on lap 95. We were looking at replays as they did it. Brad Newman did beat Matt Danson. Kobe Williams is in front of Shane Van Gisbergen, who will line up 4th. The runners who have stopped. So Nick Bottrell, if I were you, probably wouldn't have decided to stay out on this one. Probably should have taken tyres. But I'm not the one driving the car. I'm not the one with the strategy. This could be a hats-off strategy play. Could be just keeping that track position. Maybe we get cautions all the way to the end of the race. Who knows? So Nick Bottrell will take the lead. The wheel turns right hand down, yeah. It did have right hand down on it, but it also had a few left hand down movements from Tom Frere's car, so I'm not too sure if it was like he was trying to pull it off the wall and his wheelbase was coming in or out. That could be something. I'm not going to jump to any conclusions regarding that, but it'll be something for the incident review panel to look at should it get protested. So they'll make the decision on that, and they'll have the final say. But we are lights out on the pace car, stacked up 2 by 2. Nick Bottrell will have control of the field and do the Geico restart zone. We'll have his choice of when to go and his choice alone, so he'll try and get a good jump. Cars behind Matt Dance and Brad Newman will be trying to get past as quickly as they can. They're on fresh rubber, so they won't want to sit behind what is probably going to be a rolling roadblock of the 225 car. It's not a shot at Nick Bottrell. It's just a fact of old tyres versus new tyres as he goes towards the end of the box. Hits a launch, but you can watch the new tyres just claw him on back. They'll pull him through when it comes to turn 1 and 2. Nick Bottrell gets up high, so we'll try and do it with 3 wide going into turn 1 further on back in the field. So here's Brad Newman, here's Matt Danson. They're going at it on the bottom part of the racetrack. Nick Bottrell is getting absolutely swamped, as expected. Because Brad Newman, who's just going to edge out Matt Danson here tonight, he's going to slow up though. He's going to slot in behind Matt Danson. Matt Danson takes the lead on the run to the line. So Matt Danson will lead the first lap of the restart. Brad Newman's going to try and make it up the inside. Ooh, as they make a little bit of contact. They're rubbing hard now. So this is hard racing between these two at the front. They don't want to give an inch. They don't want to take an inch. Will take any less of an inch than they need to. As we've got a 5th caution here tonight. Now it's something's happening, so Angus Lawford involved will jump onto the yellow flag. A very tight pack here, so Angus Lawford, or Trent Gosley just turned up the racetrack into Kobe Williams and Angus Lawford. But look at that again, just in a slower motion. Look like Trent Gosley's coming up the track. That looks like the 055 car. The 093 of Riley Curtis just clips to the left, or that right rear quarter panel of Trent Gosley, sends him up into the outside wall, collects Angus Lawford and Kobe Williams as well. That's the 5th caution of the night. Brad Newman will be our new race leader. So he makes it past Matt Danson. Shane Van Gisbergen's lining up in 3rd for this restart. We got Ryan Jones at DPR. He's going to be 4th. That's a good result for the DPR team, having a car in the top 5 here tonight. I know they've had Stephen Williams, the other DPR driver here tonight, has had a bit of a mixed bag here tonight, but team's doing well. One driver in the top 5 at the moment. With Stevie Williams, he's still got a good chance to make it up into that top 10 position. He's only in 18th at the moment, so definitely within his grasp, within his talent as well. DPR could be looking for a good night. Another team who's having a good night is SRM. They're all in the top 15 at the moment, apart from Matthew Budd. So Matthew Budd, the only SRM car not in the top 15. We've got Lockie Acugio, Matt Raymond and Ruben Phelps. They're all within 5 positions of each other. But they're another team having a good night here at Chicagoland. I believe also Brad Newman and Shane Van Gisbergen are running similar schemes, so I believe they're on the same team. I will get confirmation from that later on. But at the moment, looks like another team having a good night here at Chicagoland.
Let's not forget Ryan Jones from DPR in 4th. He's had a really good run tonight, bringing his form from the Truck Series into the X Series. So DPR strong as well, and his teammate Stevie Williams back in 18th. He'll be pushing to get up the field a little bit better into the run as well. So
yeah, no, just mention the DPR boys. They're definitely having a good night. Andrew in chat saying DPR top 20 battlers.
Oh, there you go. Sorry, I'm a bit la la land.
That's all good, Nigel.
It's been a long day.
It's been a long day. We're on the 5th caution tonight. 24 laps to go here at Chicagoland. So if the green flag trend is to be believed, this may be the last caution of the night. Now 5 cautions is significantly better than 20, and I'm going to stand by that. 5 cautions here tonight. This really only feels like 3rd caution maybe of the night. The other 2 felt like they went really quick. This one, it's a little bit dragged out, a little bit longer, but we have 25 cars on the lead lap. Still, should be about 26, maybe 30. Aaron Gilbert's still running. We have about 35 cars still running here tonight. Andy Barber's still in the pit lane getting damage repaired because he was involved in a heavy contact in the last caution. So we'll stack them up 2 by 2. We'll be going racing at the end of this lap. Pace car lights are out. Brad Newman leads Matt Danson, Shane Van Gisbergen, Ryan Jones, Josh Micklemore, Tyson Brewer, Connor Nixon. Got Jaden Russell, debutant here tonight. He's in P8. He's had a good drive tonight. Ruben Phelps in P9 and Dave Douglas in P10. It's not too out of the reach for some of these cars. A bit further back to make their way up into that top 10 area. We've got Brendan Hobson. Someone's giving me a phone call. They're gonna have to wait. It is my mother, so I've just hung up on it. She's not gonna be happy about that. But we're gonna race today, Mum. I'm not gonna bother talking to you. Yeah. I'll give her a call back as soon as I can.
So you've insulted your grandmother.
I've insulted my grandmother, and now I've hung up
your
on
mum.
my mother. Yeah. So,
Oh no.
Look, I am a model son. I will say that as we come out of turn 4, and Brad Newman, you'll have the field. Your restart in the Geico restart zone, and he's gone. Shane Van Gisbergen and Brad Newman working together there on that restart to get a good launch over Matt Danson, who's kind of been left in the lurch here. Hasn't got a good restart. These two are going to push on, and they're going to try and make a break for the end of the race as we see 3 lights in the back end. A little bit of strung out restart there. Not as bunched up as it was prior, but I will say that it's definitely a lot cleaner. It's definitely a lot more promising for the end of this race. Oh, Shane Van Gisbergen really close to the wall, diving down to block Matt Danson on that inside line. Comes up off the bottom side of Brad Newman. Going to try and make his way through to the lead of this race, Shane Van Gisbergen. They're going to try and control these 2 lanes. Brad Newman going to get back into the lead of this race. Shane Van Gisbergen just protecting that inside line. Ryan Jones, he's up on that outside line trying to make a move. Tyson Broad as well, he's sniffing around. Going to see if he can try and make it 3 wide. Ryan Jones diving down to the inside. He'll get on the Shane Van Gisbergen. Brad Newman's going to cover. It looks like these two, the 40 car and the 97 working together here to control this race.
Ryan Jones the lead.
Ryan Jones has made his way through. Brad Newman's going to have the momentum on the outside, so he'll keep the lead. And Ryan Jones will try and make this inside line work. Matt Danson's looking around in 4th, trying to see if he can find his way through like Ryan just did. Not really there just yet. A little bit of a touch of the wall from Tyson Broad. So Ryan Jones again down to that inside yellow line, taking all the track he can. Trying to get through. Could probably slide up a little bit higher on the track, run a little bit higher, build a bit more momentum off the corner rather than going all the way into the wide line. He does get a good exit still. Brad Newman having to work hard to defend here from Ryan Jones. He does get that momentum on that top line. Has to run a little bit further, but he does get the momentum. It's a bit of a trade-off. Shane Van Gisbergen working in 3rd, trying to stop Matt Danson from getting underneath him. Trying to make this race.
Let's not forget Josh Micklemore either. He's sitting there. He's waiting. He's waiting to make his move. Oh man,
Josh
this is
Mickelmore,
hot.
Connor Nixon, Ruben Phelps, they're all there. Kobe Williams, get out of the way, son. You do not want to be in front of these guys. Yeah, he peels up under that white line. Good stuff there from Kobe. Just seeing the situation behind him. Doesn't want to get involved in any of this. Doesn't want to be the cause of any of these drivers potentially losing a position. Rejoins just before the turn. He gets up. Oh, Ryan Jones, he just tags the wall. He's going to lose all the momentum. Him and Danson now getting close together. Maybe a bit of a rub there on the run down to turn 1. This top 12, 13 cars is all within about a second of each other. Absolutely no place.
3 wide.
2-3 wide. They're 2 wide there. Ruben Phelps under attack. Dave Douglas is blocked up by Connor Nixon at the moment. Connor, get a move on, Ruben says. Just get moving, get moving. Braden Newman's Shane Van Gisbergen, they're back to control in this race. Ryan Jones, his challenge has not succeeded. He's put him back into a bit of a danger zone in at P4. He's currently getting swarmed for P5. Matt Danson to the inside. He'll try and make a move on Shane Van Gisbergen. 16 laps to go. Shane, he should get the momentum off the corner. Run right out to the wall. Good racing, good respect given by these two drivers. Shane will keep that high line. Matt Danson, he's not going to have too much trouble there. He'll run into turn 3. Hits past Shane. Shane wouldn't really fight it. Still got a little bit of time left in this race to make a move, so sit back, catch back up, because Brad Newman, he's sneaking away. He's 3 tenths out. Should be able to claw this one back if they don't keep fighting, so should be able to see a bit of working together to make sure that Newman, he just doesn't run away with this race. A couple of new faces to the top 10. Brendan Hobson, he's made his way up into the top 10. Tyson Broad's there still. Dave Douglas. Jaden Russell's in 7th. Connor Nixon's made his way all the way back up to P6 after that pit stop blunder. Josh Mickelmore, he's in P5. Ryan Jones, P4. Good drives from them. Shane Van Gisbergen and Brad Newman and Matt Danson, they've both moved up 18 places this race. Same with Ruben Phelps. The biggest mover tonight, however, has been Matthew Raymond with 21 positions gained.
Matty Ray.
There from Matty Ray. As we see the top 3 start to spread out and maybe becoming a bit of a 3-horse race here for the win. I say maybe, it just definitely looks like a 3-horse race for the win. Ryan Jones, he's just ever so slightly fallen off. Jane Bowen in chat saying pretty sure he's done, so fortunately there, Shade, it happened in a flash, and I don't think you can be knocked too much for that. He was unsighted until the very last second, so shame to see you not end in such a manner, but we've got a race here right now. It's Brad Newman, Matt Danson, those are the 2 drivers to keep an eye on at the moment. Shane Van Gisbergen's not too far away. Or Matt Danson there just looking towards the outside, trying to get that momentum, build a bit of speed. Set up Brad Newman into one of these corners. He also has to remember, any challenge that he makes can be capitalised upon by Shane Van Gisbergen sitting in that 3rd position at the moment. I think Brad Newman's going to help out his buddy. It is a Chicagoland, definitely is an error block track, as Dyson just mentioned in the YouTube chat. Pretty easy to stall out a run here, so gotta try and figure something out. Gotta try and make a move happen somehow. Otherwise, it's gonna be a Brad Newman race win. Should be due online soon. 11 laps to go. Andy Barber just staying out of the way. Oh, bit of a late dive out of the way from Brad Newman. Catches Matt Danson a bit unaware. We'll let Matt Danson actually get up the inside of Brad Newman this time around.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
So a little bit of energy wasted. Oh, Matt Danson sliding up the track. Just keeps it out of the door of... keeps it out of Brad Newman's door.
We've got lap cars ahead.
Exposes him to Shane on the inside, though, down into turn 3. Shane's going to try and hang this one on. Try and see if he can make this move stick. We do have 2 lap cars in front. So it's not going to be an easy time by if we're going too wide, trying to get past lap cars who are also too wide. Marty Mitchell just holds up high. Get out of the way. So they've cleared one. Now they've got to clear the other. The 157 car, I believe, of Angus Lawford. Yep, off the racetrack.
He's like, yeah, no, I'm getting out of there.
I'm out of the way. He's done. He's out of the way. But aeroblock tracks they're hard to make a move on, especially you've got teammates working with you. So Shane Van Gisbergen moves up into that P2 spot. Matt Danson's unable to make a move on Brad Newman, and we've got 9 laps to go.
And looks like Kobe Williams has had a packet loss dropout as well, so it looks like his night's done, unfortunate.
That is unfortunate for Kobe Williams. He's one of the faster drivers here tonight. And Nick Bottrell just went down the pit lane, so his gamble staying out has not paid off. And he'll go a lap down here tonight. In a bit. Blow with my words here tonight as we see Shane Van Gisbergen making a move on Brad Newman for the race lead, and he'll make that move into turn 1. Should be able to stick. Brad Newman now in the P2 spot. Shane Van Gisbergen makes his way to P1. Matt Danson P3 just hanging on. Ryan Jones as well. He's not out of this. He's still the top 4. If anything goes wrong up front, he might be able to pick up a position. Connor Nixon as well. Still pretty close. Can pick up on any scraps if anything does happen in that top 3. But it's getting a bit more spread out now amongst that top 3. So I don't think there's going to be too much action. We have 6 laps to go and they tick on by. Back car of Ricky Hyde. He may throw a spanner in the works, may slow up Shane. But the way this race is going, these 3 look like they're all settled and they're going to run it to the end of the race. We'll jump back, have a look on board with Ruben Phelps. He's currently trying to make a move up on, I believe that is, who's he getting past? It's the 27. Of Tyson Broad. He's a lap down, so he's just making his way by a lap car. Matty Ray's up into the top 10, so that's 24 positions for Matty Ray tonight. Big move on. Big race.
He's had a really good
for
run.
Matty Ray.
Top 10. Well done, Matty.
There's a lot of big movers actually in the top 10. Brad Newman, Matt Danson, they're 17 a pop. Ryan Jones is up 13. Connor Nixon, he's also up 17. Josh Micklemore is down 4 positions. He's the only one in the top 10 to actually be down positions on where he started this race. Jaden Russell's up 5. Brent Hobson's up 6. A little bit dicey there as we go 4 laps to go. Dave Douglas, Matty Ray. Big nights for these drivers. 20 positions for Michael Campbell as well. A lot of positions picked up. Ruben Phelps, he's on 18. Jump back to the front. Shane Van Gisbergen, he's got this. He's got about half a second over his mate Brad Newman, and Matt Danson's fallen off quite a bit more as we see Ryan Jones and Connor Nixon, they're battling for 4th. Connor Nixon and Ryan Jones, it might not be the podium, but it's the next best thing. They're running it down to the back straight into turn 3. Ryan Jones has the advantage of being on that outside line, able to build that momentum. Connor Nixon going to send it in, ride that second groove, try and push up in front of Ryan Jones on the exit. That's a good slide job. That's going to get the position done. Connor Nixon up to P4. 18 positions gained in this race, so pretty good. Now he just has to keep a hold of it. He's going to let Ryan get the outside run here. May be able to get momentum off the corner. Not quite. Ryan wants to hang on that outside.
Still a fantastic drive by Ryan tonight.
Oh, absolutely. Ryan and Connor, both amazing drivers in their own right. Very talented. Ryan Jones, he's a race winner in the series. He knows how to drive these cars. He's given it everything he can. Shane Van Gisbergen, he'll take the white flag. Final lap here tonight. So Shane Van Gisbergen, he's got a healthy lead over Brad Newman in 2nd. Matt Danson in 3rd is fallen off considerably. Tires are probably just hanging on. Connor Nixon probably won't catch. So Shane Van Gisbergen rounding turn 3 and turn 4 for the final time tonight. Exit of T4. Shane Van Gisbergen takes it to the line, and he'll be a winner here tonight in Chicagoland. Brad Newman, Matt Danson crosses the line in P3. Connor Nixon brings home a P4 result for Metro Racing here tonight. Ryan Jones, DPI, he's in 5th. Josh Micklemore, he finishes in 6th position. Jaden Russell, you've got P7. That's a good debut for you. Brendan Hobson as well on debut, finishes in the top 10. Dave Douglas finishes in 9th. Matty Ray finishes in P10 with a total of 24 positions gained. That's your top 10 for tonight. We'll get your full race readout at the end. Ooh, watch Shane Van Gisbergen take it around to the front. He's going to burn it down here at Chicagoland with his mate Brad Newman. Drives on in. That is some car control to be able to flick these cars around like that. It's glorious to see. Burn it down, Shane Van Gisbergen.
What a race. What a race.
Start to finish. It was really exciting tonight. Really exciting. A lot of good drivers up in the front. A lot of good racing. A lot of hard racing. A lot of close racing as well. There's nothing more that you could have asked for on a Tuesday night. As Brad Newman comes up, they're going to join up. Probably get some tandem donuts going here. Burn it down here in Chicago. Absolutely. We'll get on Brad Newman. Give him a bit of time. Oh, I think they're done. That's Shane's engine by the looks of things. And there's a rogue Nick Burling has joined the front straight as well. So there you go, Brad. He's gotten his donuts out, and that is the race tonight. So we'll go over your final standings and race results here in just a moment. So, final standings here tonight. Shane Van Gisbergen takes out the win at Chicagoland, followed by Brad Newman. Matt Danson in P3 made a very valiant fight at the end of tonight's race. Connor Nixon will bring home a P4 for Nitro Racing. P5 Ryan Jones, P6 Josh Mecklemore, 7 is Jaden Russell on debut, Brendan Hobson in P8. Dave Douglas in P9, Matthew Raymond in P10. Ruben Phelps brings home a P11. Riley Curtis in P12, that's a good result for him on debut as well. Lachlan Acugio and Stephen Williams are 13th and 14th. Matthew Budd in P15, good night for the SRM boys, all in the top 15 tonight. Ben Henniker in P16, Michael Campbell in P17. P18 goes to Brian Blundell. Aaron Dorman is in 19th, Shane Mello in P20, Jason Holdsworth in P21, Henry King 22nd, Tyson Broad down in 23rd, Cameron Buckingham is in P24, Nick Bottrell P25, Ricky Hyde is in 26th position, and Tim Lundell in 28th, and these cars are all multiple laps down. So Scott Griffiths, Nick Burling, Aaron Gilbert, Angus Lawford, Kobe Williams, Marty Mitchell, Trent Godsley, Shane Bowen, Tom Freer, Matt Bailey, Mark Cochran out early on in this race. So thank you to all the drivers who have come out tonight, and let's get rolling into our interview. Our P3 finisher, Matt Danson, waiting in the green room. We'll bring him up in just a second. Matt Danson, welcome to the booth.
Hi, sorry, I was mid sneeze there.
That's all right. We caught you just as you sneezed. So
Delightful. How we doing?
So, not too bad. How was your race here tonight, Matt?
It was okay. Cooked the tires at the end there, but that was a lot of fun. To be honest, yeah, it was a nice little battle. There's a bunch of fast guys out there, and yeah, I thought we put on a really good effort of racing, really hard and tight sort of quarters, but clean. You know what I mean? Like there was nothing, no wrecking or anything happening. Obviously, I know there was some wrecks further in the field and whatnot, but up front, like it was really clean, really good racing, and yeah, really fun.
There was a great battle there between you and Brad Newman for about 20 laps. You were right on each other's bumper. It was awesome to see.
Yeah, it was. He managed everything really well. At all sort of different phases of the race. I mean, that kind of run, that was the one just before that, like that last caution, I guess, that stopped that long run, wasn't it? So,
Yep.
I was trying to be sensible with not using the stuff up. And I feel like it was sort of getting to that sort of convergence of where I felt like I was, maybe had a bit of speed over Brad there, but yeah, I mean he was driving he was driving really well, and it would have been really interesting to see how it kind of played out. But nevertheless, obviously we had it sort of the way it was. And then in that last when we stopped under yellow, I was parked directly behind Brad, and I knew I was taking my last set of tires, and I didn't see his car wasn't going up. And I thought, oh, okay, maybe he's doing like a strategy play here to not take tires now and see if there's like a late race yellow or something. So I then, that restart, I got a really good run. Got around Brad initially, and then was kind of like, okay, let's just not, let's not go crazy here. Let's try and keep our tires together. And then he just came rocketing straight past because evidently he did take tires, or he's just the tire whisperer. I don't know. But yeah, he just went flying past. I was like, well, that was not very intelligent of me. But yeah, I mean, like I said, the whole thing was a lot of fun. Brad and Shane clearly the class of the field there. But like I said, there's a bunch of other guys that showed heaps of pace, and I think it was really close. Probably that first long run seemed like there was about 10 cars within the same general kind of speed. So that was really encouraging and really cool.
Absolutely, it was great racing to watch, and it was a great race to call as well from a broadcast point of view. But when did you have any moments where you felt like you were going to make contact, but then just at the last second there was a bit of gap? Because we saw that a few times on the broadcast where you got really, really close, and it's like, oh, are they going to touch? And then you just separated just before.
I mean, the sort of the nature of this type of a track, it's even kind of weird. The exit of turn 2, the shape of it just seems a little bit odd, and the cars kind of come together a little bit. But no, like I said, I mean, I had confidence that like I felt like I know most of the names that were up there. Obviously, there's a few that I haven't really raced. I haven't really raced Brad or Shane too much, but just judging by their I rating, I have an idea that they know what they're doing. So it was just a matter of racing respectfully, but trusting that they're going to hit their lines, and I'm going to hit my lines as well, and race fairly. And I think yeah, not only those guys, but a bunch of other guys did a really good job of doing just that. I know there was one awkward scenario. I think real early. It must have been lap 1 or 2. And I was 3 wide. I was in the middle 3 wide, and I think the guy on the bottom of me didn't know that obviously I had a car to my outside, so he kind of tried to come up on the exit of the corner, sort of how you normally would if you were 2 by 2, and kind of bumped in my door, which hopefully his race wasn't too ruined from that. But yeah, I mean, that's just the nature of this sort of racing. There's so much happening at all times. You got to kind of be aware of what's happening, but also be reliable, I guess, is probably like, that there's a bunch of different options that people can take in terms of their lines and whatnot that strategically will disadvantage the other driver to get them a good run. But it's just being predictable with the way you're driving, and you don't go to the bottom then take a hard right and shoot up to the top lane. You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't work like that. So everyone I think raced really well with all that, and that's why you saw those kind of close moments, but no carnage with that, because it was just sensible driving.
Absolutely, it's great to see. Absolutely great racing and call. So, Matt, anyone you'd like to thank here tonight?
We'll shout out the fiance, Alex. She's probably bored as hell right now. We were meant to be watching a show, so I'll have to run over and see if we can get another episode of that. But shout out, our son Oliver again, as always. Alex took the responsibility of putting him to bed so that I could drive pretend race cars. So bless her heart for doing that. And obviously everyone involved in the organisation of these races, so that we can go out and have fun. You guys for putting on the broadcast. VRS again, it was the Altus Engineering setup that I was running, which I'm sure I did not get. I probably got 85% out of it. So anyone else would go a lot faster than me, no doubt. But that's and of course the team at Altus Esports, all the boys there, just for being good lads.
Absolutely. It's crazy to hear you say someone else could get more out of it than you could. You are a very fast driver, and Definitely
I'm
proved
watching
that
as
here
Bryce,
tonight.
you're too nice. I'm shocking, but yeah, you're too kind. But yeah, like I said, heaps of fun. And actually, I'm really pleased. You know, this is I think my third start. Yeah, it would be third start in this series, the X series. You know, 3 top 5s, very pleasing, and even my one and only start so far in the trucks was a top 5 as well. So hoping to keep that run going. Although I am getting progressively worse because we went from a win to second to third, so that's probably not the way we want to be going. But yeah, we'll see what happens next time.
Absolutely. It's always great having you out in the field, Matty, and we'll see you next week as we move into, I think it's this is going to put me on the spot. How well do you know the schedule?
Where is it next week?
Michigan, I think.
Oh, okay. Not
Yes, next week at Michigan for 91 laps on the dot.
Not the most enjoyable track, but that's okay. I'm sure we'll have a ding dong. And yeah, thanks again, boys. Appreciate it.
Alright, appreciate your
Thanks,
time,
Matt.
Matt.
See you, fellas.
Alrighty, well, we don't have Brad or Shane, so we're going to call the interviews there. I don't think they're going to rock up, which is okay. So, congratulations to both of those guys, Shane Van Gispen on taking out P1 and Brad Newman for taking out P2. Very well driven tonight, guys. Hopefully, we can see you both back here next time, and maybe next time we'll get a few moments of your time to have a bit of a yarn. But that's all good. So, Nigel, we'll wrap up the broadcast here. Anything you'd like to say to everyone watching at home?
No, just thanks for everyone for watching at home. It was a great race. It was enjoyable, and thank you to all watching in on YouTube and Twitch tonight. It's great to have everyone on board, and yeah, we'll see you all Friday nights for the trucks.
Absolutely. We'll catch you all then, and hopefully we'll have a really good race at Truck Series in round 6, taking on, I believe it is, Watkins Glen. Watkins Glen Club for the trucks on Friday night. So we'll see you all then.